Hello again, whiskey friends. Thank you for joining me today on another tasting. I'm pretty excited for what we have today. It's going to be in a new brand for me. I have not had this before, this moment. So I'm going to be sipping on some Hard Truth. This is a rye coming out of Indiana, but out of Brown County, Indiana. This is an MGP. And it's only 2 to 3 years old, but everybody's been raving about it. It just hit Ohio. It was only 65 bucks. So I went in, grabbed it. Hey, let's do a tasting. Thanks for joining, everybody. Let's kick off the show. Find a tab on this thing. This is where I should have a knife by the recording here. Let's see if I can get this thing off. No, it doesn't look like it. Man, that was tricky. I think I got it though. Woo-wee! Some of these things, they make overly complicated. Need to get a good pocket knife. All right, that was a pretty good cork pop though. This is kind of a cool cork too. Synthetic on the bottom, but it's kind of got a cool texture to it. All right, let's pour this thing out. Got it today in a Bourbon Wrench Glen. Cheers, Trev. But yeah, so this is Hard Truth, as I was saying on the top. For those keeping track, this one's going to be batch 5, which was dumped in May 2022. And the batch size is 30 barrels. And from my understanding, the barrels are all between the ages of 2 years, 3 years. They are making this themselves, and the mash bill is 94.6. So this is not a 95.5 rye. It's a 94.6 rye. Man, it is going to get real confusing here pretty soon if they start, putting their stuff out there for contract distilling. Man, Indiana Rye, distilled in Indiana, is not going to mean anything here. Pretty soon, between them, Starlight. Can't take things for granted. They're going to get real specific about Lawrenceburg or Ross and Squibb or MGP. Put something on the label. All right, let's go into the nose, and then we'll go into the taste. Oh, yeah. Man, that one gives off a good amount of flavor right off the bat. I am surprised it's a 94.6 rye. Honestly, the first couple notes I was getting off of it kind of leaned towards corn. There's no corn in this. Gosh, it still leans towards like a musty corn to me. I'm having problems letting go of that one. Okay, that one was much different there. Floral, very floral. And then some eucalyptus. Kind of traveling that area as far as the rye is concerned. It's very dark and very bready though. I don't want to say it's like floral forward. It is dark and bready. Not a lot of sweetness to grasp to. Off the nose, I'm a little hesitant about the taste. We'll see how it tastes though. Cheers, whiskey friends. Thank you for joining. Okay. Man, this is different. I'm gonna have to go in for another taste on that one. It definitely travels a road unexpected. I'm trying to think of what rye I would compare it to. I don't really have a good comparison. I can see why people are excited about this one. Only 2 to 3 years old. It's given off a lot of unique character. That's exciting. Man, still getting buttered popcorn off the nose. Can't escape it. Man, it's sweet. It's sweeter than I was expecting. Outside of the finish, most of the characteristics on it are more bourbon leaning than rye, but the finish is where it really starts distinguishing itself as a rye. It's got a really nice finish on it too. Oh, it was a 116.6 proof as well. Forgot to mention that off the top. So up front, nice creamy mouthfeel. Was getting essentially just a caramel syrup. Wasn't getting too much else. Things do escalate come mid-palate. The finish is the real rememberable part of this. Let me go in for another taste though. Let's go for mid-palate here. Yeah, there's a little bit of like a nuttiness and some honey there. Gosh, I'd almost equate it to like a baklava kind of a sensation. The way that it kind of fuses together with the dough. And then on the back ends when the rye comes in. The rye comes in very bready again. Very bready rye. And very sweet too, though. Like the rye has kind of like the icing, the type of icing that you'd get on cinnamon rolls. What do they call that? Sweet cream icing. If you kind of poured that on a rye piece of bread. Gonna go in for another taste here. Okay, now I'm starting to get some fruits. Oh, that got real fruity. Man, this one keeps morphing. Every sip has actually been a little different. So as I go sip to sip and try to track my thoughts, it's making it difficult on me. I got a lot of strawberry on that one. I got the strawberry on the front end. I got a strawberry in the finish. There was a different fruit in the middle, and maybe a couple different fruits that was hitting me. That was all fruit. Man, I'm going to go in for one more sip on this one. Yeah. Okay, now it's going back to the breadiness and the royal icing, the sweet cream icing on the finish. I understand the buzz on this one. This is a really, really good rye. I don't have a good comparison point for it, but pretty excited to see if this is what it is at 2 to 3 years. I mean, it's almost like getting Peerless Rye when it was 2 years, 3 years, and just knowing its potential. This feels like that. So they're doing something right over there in Brown County, Indiana. Hard Truth. So this was $67. I got it in Ohio now, and that excited me as well because that's pretty good distribution if you got Ohio as a customer. It was 67, 116 proof. Man, that's a recommend for me. I thought it was pricier than what I saw before when I saw it in Ohio. It was 67 in Ohio. I thought I was seeing it for like 80, and I just couldn't buy something that I knew was 2 years old at that price. Then, of course, I pulled the trigger at 67, as if that's that far of apart. But you got your ground sometimes to stand on. But I recommend this one. Try this one. If you like ryes, give Hard Truth a shot. Everything you're hearing about them, it's true. It's the truth. Go figure. Well, thank you for joining me today on this whiskey tasting, everybody. We're going to do more whiskey tasting later. Why don't you come by again? Thanks for joining. Bye, whiskey friends.